Think we're live.
Yes, you can get started. Go ahead.
All right, so it looks like we've got a few attendees in here. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you have. Okay, sweet. All right, so I don't have an awesome uh, PowerPoint, and I don't have I don't have a whiteboard behind me, but I did want to just jump in here and have a bit of a discussion about about habits. So, let's kind of think about this for a minute. Where we're at right now is, and wherever you are in your career or wherever you've gotten to right now, is the result of something. And usually, this is something that is the root of is what we call a habit. It's basically a tendency to do on a regular basis. I mean, that is the most simplistic way of thinking about what a habit is. Good, and as time goes on, they'll lead to really good things. For instance, if you eat well, then that leads to good health. If you exercise on a regular basis, which I'm not one to talk about exercising on a regular basis. I'm not standing right now; you can't see it, but I'm not exactly a lightweight. You um, you will have results if you don't do the right things. If you have a bad habit, like I want to eat cake every day, well, if you eat cake every day, well, you might gain a little bit of weight. So thinking about what is a habit, it really is just stuff that we do, and they can either lead to a good end or a bad end down the road. And as software developers, we should probably think about a career that we don't like. And what if we were to think, if I am eating well, so don't don't think that when I talk about eating well, it's I've been trying to keep my sugar down and carbohydrates out and stuff like that. So um, I've been working on that. But into your life, going to get back and get there. How did it something, you know, let's do we get ready for the day? It's not like we get up and go, I need to go. Not. What's up, man?
Here you,
Uh, and see.
yeah, I think that worked. Um, okay, I must to tell everybody to move to low definition. You have this button that says low definition. It can improve the audio for everybody. It will lower the bandwidth. So everybody is encouraged to do that. Uh, Click the HD button and move to LO or LD. Oh, not everybody. Maybe it's just the problem is at your end. So can you do that?
I can try it.
Oh, you look horrible. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's a given, right? I just whatever, man. Uh, all right. So if my audio is coming through, give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me, let me see. I can actually let me just do this. I just started a vote. If you Okay, looks like everyone who's voted says they can hear me. All right, sorry about that. I did move my microphone a little bit closer to me, and then also, um, maybe I was just a little too far away from it, which is okay. Thank you for letting me know. So we were talking about habits. We were talking about what, um, the fact that what we have in our life right now is the result of those little habits, and we even talked about habits are automatic. So we started talking about what are some of the automatic habits that we have. Usually we get up in the morning. The next thing we do is go get ready to go to work. Um, and there's all these little habits that we have. Like some people, when they get up in the morning, they won't even think about it. They're going to go over to the coffee machine and turn the coffee machine on, and get a cup of coffee. Um, I happen to be an energy drink person. I will go get an energy drink, not think about it, because that's what I do. I have a stack of them here next to my desk. Um, but then, also some people will just get up and go run. They'll get up and automatically put their running shoes on and get out the door and go run. So there's all these little things that we do automatically, that can result in what we do. Even down to it's time for lunch, and I'm at the office, which I've not been in the office for a year, so I don't have to worry about this so much right now. But I, I'm hungry. I'm at the office. What I want to get, and automatically I go for sushi. Right? That's what I would really like to go get. That's always been my first choice. So if I'm choosing, I have the urge to go get sushi. I will go get sushi for lunch. So I don't even think about it. It's just not a thing. So what is this? Right? What does what is the structure of a habit? And in a book that I read called Atomic Habits, James Clear kind of puts it out really clear as there's four stages uh, of a habit. And by the way, if you're really interested in habits and want to go listen to, or I listen to all my books, that's a habit. I listen to a lot of books. But if you want to read a really good book on habits, I do recommend Atomic Habits. But but his four stages, he talks about the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward. And so when talking about some of these other habits, like we've got um, when we do something that may not be so great, like we go get the sushi. Well, something happened that made me think, I want sushi. Then that started a craving. So there's a cue. A craving was, oh, I really want to go get some sushi. The response is I go and get the sushi, and the reward is my brain is exploding with dopamine because I was eating sushi and it's happy. That's kind of the structure of a habit. Now, that's typically the way that we form habits. Is that uh, there's a behavior that we try, something that we're trying to do. There's a dopamine hit from it. So we get this hit in the brain. This chemical is released as a reward that we did it. And then our brains learn that we get this reward when we do this thing. And it is, it, it just, if you do it a number of times, it becomes something you don't think about. For instance, the coffee in the morning. People get up in the morning, they're tired, they drink a cup of coffee. They're not tired. They went through that whole cue, craving, response, reward uh, in the morning. I mean, how many of y'all drink coffee or something with caffeine in the morning? Like I said, I'm an energy drink guy, so I know there's probably quite a few people in here that do it. In fact, I get made fun of a little bit for the fact that I always have that energy drink when I jump onto my calls in the morning. So, what can we do? What about changing our habits? What about creating new habits? Well, there's a good set of steps that we can take to try to create new habits. There's four stages, in fact. One, you make it obvious. So, unfortunately for me, the energy drink is about as obvious as it gets. It's sitting in a stack by my desk. Luckily, they're sugar free, and they're not adding any caloric intake, just infusing a lot of caffeine into me at one time. Make it attractive. Well, it tastes good. So I have this thing that has caffeine in it. It tastes good. We're going to make it easy. It's sitting right by my desk, and it's satisfying because I get a kick in the rear end from 300 milligrams of caffeine. So that's an establishment of a new habit. Even coffee drinkers out there, unfortunately, like if you think about cigarette smoking, it's the same kind of thing. Like stop drinking those energy drinks and do something different. So what if instead we took to try to break a habit, what if we took and inverted those four stages? What if we made it not so obvious anymore? What if we got rid of the stack of energy drinks from the desk or the pack of chips or, whatever it is that could be causing us a problem? What if we moved it to where we had to leave the room? So then it becomes less attractive. In fact, we have to get up and go get it. So it's not as easy to get a hold of. Um, if you invert those, if we make it less satisfying somehow, I don't know how we can make some of those things less satisfying. I think the having to get up and go get it while you're in the middle of a call or a meeting makes it a lot less satisfying, or at least a lot less easy to get to. That is a way to approach breaking a bad habit. You make it way more difficult to get to the item. So, for instance, if I wanted to create a habit of drinking water, or drinking more water, I should say, then I would replace all of my energy drinks by my desk with bottles of water. And so when I'm sitting at my desk, the thing that's easy for me to reach down and get is going to be a bottle of water, and I would not anymore pick up an energy drink unless I really want it to cause trouble and leave the room and get one. In my household, is very unattractive for me to leave the room because my family is in the next room over. I'm at my house. I've been working out of my house, and leaving the room causes, there's kids that want to hang out with daddy, and they think daddy's done for the day, and so it's really unattractive for me to leave the room in the middle of the day. Anything that I'm going to use, I need right here with me, or I'm just not going to worry about it. I don't want to cause the trouble by everyone thinking I'm done. Um, so I think we talked about creating new habits. We've talked about breaking bad habits, which is make it as difficult as possible to do those things that you don't want to do anymore. But maybe now we need to try to pull it in, and let's talk about what are some good habits that we might want to try to create for us in the software development field. Why would we want better habits? Well, I think that there's a good number of people out there that feel like they may be stuck in their career, or they feel like that they're not moving ahead. They may think that they should be a senior developer, or they want that promotion and they're not getting it. And again, like I said, our result right now, the life you're living right now, is a result of your habits. Now, there's some other stuff to it too, so I'm going to be fair about that, right? Maybe no one told you that if you do these things, that you will, that you can progress in your career. So you may have a little bit of that too. But if you do have the knowledge of what you need to do, but you just don't do it, then I would say that there's a point where you need to form a new habit. So, if we go back and think about habits that we can form as developers, let me check and see if I'm getting any questions. Oh, I um, what happens when the pack of energy drinks would disappear from the world? So you live, right? I mean, the good news is that's a good question. You live. If the pack of energy drinks disappears, I don't rely on energy drinks to live, and life would just go on. I would be a little groggy for a few days, and I would come back up and be okay in And a little bit, caffeine withdrawal can cause a few headaches and stuff like that, but it's not dangerous. It's not life threatening, and but it is very unattractive and very unpleasant to go through caffeine withdrawal. And the thing is to replace it with something. So the quicker you can replace something that you were doing that's not so great or something you want to change. Let's just not even be judgmental. Something you want to change. You don't want to do this one thing. So and you if you replace it with something else. So for instance, maybe if I had hot tea and ability to make hot water sitting here on my desk, maybe I can go to drinking tea instead of energy drinks, and it's real convenient, and we get rid of the energy drinks and they're all gone, right? So, some kind of decaffeinated tea of some sort, right? An herbal. I just realized I think I'm going out of focus here. There we go. No. All right. But I really kind of want to think about from a development perspective at this point. So, I think one of the things that hits us, and I was talking to someone today that I always, and I've been in software development for about 20 years. So I've seen a lot of trends come and go. And, one of the things I wrote in my notes about this, about good habits, is, should I learn everything? Everything new that's coming out? Do I need to go learn it? Like, give me a thumbs up if you think you need to learn everything, but give me a thumbs down if you don't, if you think that you don't need to learn everything. Like, let's see what the reactions are here. I got one thumbs up. Thumbs up if you think you need to learn everything. Thumbs down if you think that you don't have to learn everything. Good. All right. So I'm getting a good mix of responses here. Now, that's one thing that I kind of want to impart in this is that we don't have to learn everything. Remember, we are a product of our habits. We are a product of what we do on a daily basis. And the problem is that if we try to go learn every new piece of technology that comes out, we're not going to know anything about, anything of use about any of them. It's kind of like um, if you need to catch rabbits and there's a bunch of rabbits running around you, do you try to run after all of them at the same time, or do you pick one, run after one, pick it up, and put it up, and and catch the one rabbit and then move to the next, right? So we can't learn everything. There's so much new coming out in technology that we can't learn all of the new things that are coming out. We can learn principles, but learning everything that's coming out is untenable. So the real thing that I want to come up with as far as a good habit is concerned, maybe you should create a good habit around analyzing where it is you're trying to go and getting on a good trajectory by picking out the right things to learn based on specifically what you want to do. Do you want to be known as an expert in Java? Do you want to be a Java champion? If that is the case, go find out what Java champions need to do, and I bet you it's not learn everything. They don't have to learn everything. In fact, I happen to know some Java champions. They don't have to learn everything, but they do have to be good at some things, really good. And so, is it, do you want to work with cloud? Well, I mean, narrow down on cloud and get good at it. But don't like go, I need to work on cloud, but also I want to bring in Vue and Angular and React and Java and C Sharp, and let's just make a monster project with all the buzzwords so that we know them all. A good habit is to figure out where you're trying to go and make a plan that if you learn these things over time, you'll be able to go there. And it's not going to happen immediately. So habit change doesn't happen immediately, and learning doesn't happen immediately. I believe that I may have, so for a living, I actually teach web development. I'm a coding bootcamp instructor at this point in time because I've developed a lot of applications and wanted to do something where I changed people's lives. I happen to have, I believe I have at least one student here, maybe, I don't know. And you don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to say you are. But I will tell you that watching my students learn software development has taught me how hard it is to learn and bring in new habits. So, that is going to be um, that's a thing is that it takes time. So even if you say I want this new habit and you start trying to incorporate it, it's going to take time. Now, Bruno just asked a really great question. So what is the best habit? So I think the best habit is going to be I have two of them. One, like I said, I want to be sure and put out there. I'm not saying go learn everything. I will never tell you to go learn everything. So the best thing that I can recommend as far as good habits that are concerned is keep an eye out for what you want. So that's one. So always be asking yourself at different times and make it a monthly thing, make it a yearly thing. It doesn't matter. But as long as you come back and go, uh, am I enjoying what I'm doing, or is there something else I would enjoy more? Because that little bit of self analysis and self awareness is going to help you out quite a bit. Once you narrow it down to a topic that you do want to go more deeply into, then another thing that you can do is, which is a good habit, come up with uh, learning a learning plan which will be something that you execute on a daily basis. You know, whether that would be 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there. But what I recommend is at least set out a good plan for trying to bring in that new piece of technology that you want to get really good at. In 30 minutes, that may work. You start out with 15 minutes. Here is a tip because I may be scaring people off saying try something for 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day. The formation of a new habit is based on repetition, not necessarily how long you do it. It's how many times you go to do it. So if you just can't get yourself to do something, tell yourself using the 2 minute rule that I'm going to go do it for 2 minutes. That's it. I'm just going to go read about this thing for 2 minutes, but I'm going to go read about this specific thing. And I think that if you can get that down, so you pick something and you get down what you want to do, um, and you just say that I'm going to go do it for this little bit of time, after a while, you're going to see benefits because you're going to do it for longer just because you already got there. You're going to want to do it longer than just 2 minutes. So that would be another thing. Another good habit to have, and I think for software developers, this is critical, is keep a good calendar. Try to plan those learning sessions. Plan what you're going to do. I know it's difficult. I know that I have a family. For me to plan is difficult, but I'm here. I'm talking to you right now. And so this was on my calendar and I showed up. A good calendar, a good place to put these, new things you want to do is going to be on a calendar. And that really is a good habit, is to use a calendar to make sure that you're going to do it. With that, I realize I am at 24 minutes. That is over my allotted time. I'm going to I'll be at the table. So if anyone wants to join me at my table, please do. And that's all I've got. I hope that we got something out of this. I enjoyed sharing with you, and hopefully we're good. Y'all have a good one.